Our ancestral food consisted primarily of whole fruits, vegetables, and grains. The meats, beef, pork, and chicken, were naturally grazed on grasses and legumes. The primary fats were saturated fats and monounsaturated fats. These are very stable, non-oxidizing, healthy fats. And the most important is the balances of omega-6 and omega-3 essential fatty acids were in a very equal or balanced ratio. But today's processed food is entirely different. Our refined vegetables, fruits, and grains go through ultra processing, and this makes them nutrient deficient. Our meats, protein sources, beef, pork, and chicken, are no longer naturally grazed but are raised in confined animal feeding operations, and they're fed primarily grains and seed oils. They're given antibiotics, hormones, and vaccines. From the grains and seed oils they're fed, we have unstable, highly oxidative fats with excessive omega-6 linoleic acid. Processed food incorporates seed oils, sugars, refined carbohydrates, additives, and preservatives. It's very easy to recognize ancestral food. However, processed food, by and large, we don't recognize most of the components that are on the label, let alone be able to pronounce them. Ancestral foods are natural foods, naturally grown in soils with the components of mineral and biology to aid the plant in its nutrition. Today's processed foods end up in a very different form than our natural foods. Our food has shifted from growing food for survival and sustenance to food for convenience that results in sickness and disease. Our food system has undergone a dramatic shift, for the worse too, in the last 150 years. Our health is in a major decline as a result of these changes. For nearly 5,900 years, we had a stable biological food-based system. In the last 150 years, we have switched to a refined, process, and chemical-based food system. Yet in the last 150 years, our knowledge and our understanding and technological capacities have increased exponentially. But with all that we have discovered, all that we are capable of doing, our health has declined substantially. When you look at the food our ancestors consumed versus the current foods of our processed, refined food diet today, you'll see that there was very little sugar and we had real whole food with saturated animal fats. This consisted of all of our diet. Currently, real food is down to 29% of the U.S. diet. Vegetable oils are approximately 32%, sugar is 21%, and refined wheat is 17%. And these are secondary drivers of metabolic syndrome. Vegetable oils are a primary driver of metabolic syndrome. This is work from Dr. Chris Kenobi, who has done such excellent research on the shifts and changes in our food systems and the vegetable oils and the chronic disease and problems they generate. Throughout this presentation, we acknowledge Dr. Kenobi's great contribution to the information we have, and I would strongly encourage you to look at the research he has done. It is brilliant, it is very inclusive, and it is very detailed. And because of that, we do not want to try to reinvent that wheel. We are gracious to him for his contribution, as that helps us explain a lot of the things that we would like to add in our presentation that reflect that knowledge that he has shared. Section summary number 2. Ancestral to modern dietary shifts. Our food shifted from whole, natural, and the type our ancestors grew that had stable fats and vitamins, to now synthetic, refined, and ultra-processed foods with highly oxidizing and metabolically damaging fats. Our ancestors grew food for survival. We consume food for convenience. Further, we have experienced a massive shift from whole foods to refined flours, refined sugars, and large amounts of seed oils, and those have replaced the stable, saturated fats of our ancestors' food. This dramatic shift has created enormous consequences in our health and our quality of life.